Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the replay between Roxas Abver and Mouse Hasu here on Shakuras Plateau. Colossus now moving out, Void Rays in the air as well. The Void Rays there to counter those Corruptors, so those Void Rays will be able to deal a lot of damage relatively quickly as the Void Rays now trying to move out, and now we see the Corruptors, Stalkers now trying to get underneath as that Colossus quickly getting sniped down, and now going after that Void Ray as well. Void Ray now sniped down as those Corruptors have decent armor, 2 armor, able to protect themselves from the Stalkers and from those sentries as well. So Void Rays unable to charge up, unable to deal that much damage, and now once again on the move. So those Corruptors moving fairly quickly around the map, able to get a lot of damage dealt, and also having decent range. We now see Spine Crawlers coming across the map over here to try to offer a little bit of protection. However, that will be fairly difficult as the Colossus already have the extended thermal lance range, and now we have a fleet beacon coming in. So with the fleet beacon coming in, that will allow for either carriers or mothership to be trained. Taking a look at the build so far, I do not see any upgrade from the cybernetic score. No, we are getting the armor upgrade on the cybernetic score. Do the Void Rays? Yeah, the Void Rays have the level 1 weapons upgrade as well. So these Phoenixes are going to be able to pick apart even more as Hydra is trying to deal damage, able to take down some of these pylons and deny an expansion. So nicely done. So Abver using just a couple of these Hydras. However, Stalker's now trying to come in as well. Down goes another pylon there. Phoenix is now graviton beaming those Hydralisks as those Stalkers are going to be able to just finish that off here as more of those units are getting cleaned up. So one Zealot down to 12 hit points as probes now being transferred off to that north side. Both sides, this is an east versus west battle now, as Abver is trying to entrench in and trying to perhaps take up an additional expansion. We do see a lot of Corruptors in the air, and those Corruptors are very strong against Phoenixes, Void Rays, and Colossi, and that is exactly what we're seeing. And now we're getting the Flux Veins, so the Flux Veins will have a faster movement speed for those Void Rays, and Protoss players enjoy them while you can, as the Flux Veins will be removed in patch 1.2, so those Void Rays will not be able to outmaneuver any of those Corruptors. So now outmove these Void Rays. Void Rays currently will be able to deal a lot of damage relatively quickly as they're continuing to move out. Back over here, Photon Cannons just sitting here, not much really going on. Both sides just sitting in their bases. And at this stage in the game, I'm trying to figure out what Abver can really do. Abver does have a chance at coming in, but he really needs to out-micro his opponent. He is doing a good job trying to expand into multiple locations, but he's almost over-investing into Corruptors. He does have Hive Tech, and he is upgrading to a Greater Spire, which is absolutely critical, as you want to make sure that those Corruptors do not become useless if your opponent all of a sudden stops training Phoenixes, Void Rays, and Corruptors. Taking a look, we are getting more the Protoss air weapons level 2, and the fleet beacon was just there for the movement speed, and that was it. We now see also Stalkers quickly blinking down to this low ground to take out this hatchery, as well as Abver is desperately trying to figure out where else he can expand to, and now in come Dark Templars. There is a couple Spore Crawlers here, so those Spore Crawlers will act as detection, and now this one Queen doing a transfusion, and nicely done as those Dark Templar are now trying to take down that one Spore Crawler, not working either, and down it goes. So transfusion saving the day at this natural base, as a Spine Crawler also being trained in as well. However, a Dark Templar is now coming in and will be able to take down that Greater Spire, and that is going to be a very, very hard hit, just because the Greater Spire takes 200 seconds to build, and the Hive Tech was also taken out. So Dark Templars just being warped, or just walking straight into this base, and now dealing so much damage. Abver is now definitely in trouble. There are a couple of Broodlords in the air, and there is also a couple of Corruptors, but the real problem will be whether or not Abver has enough units to try to execute anything right now, as there is an attack over here, a very, very large attack of Void Rays and Stalkers. Both sides continuing to fight, force fields coming in as well, and now both sides just dealing a lot of damage towards each other. Mass drop coming in on the north side, and now in come those Corruptors, but those Corruptors moving much more quickly than these Broodlords. And 13 Broodlords now on the move, trying to get over here to deal damage to those Corruptors. However, just simply getting sacrificed there, and down it goes. These Broodlords need to get into that battle and try to save the day. There are a couple Phoenixes, but those Phoenixes do not have anything to worry about here as they try to focus down many of those units. Broodlords are massive units, so So what, I guess Corruptors would be able to deal more damage, and also Void Rays in the next patch will deal more damage. In come those Void Rays, in come those Stalkers, Brood Lords quickly getting taken down, Stalkers blinking underneath it, and I believe that is gonna be game, as the main army of Abver now simply dwindling down to nothing, as those Broodlings are getting cleaned up. Stalkers and Void Rays will be able to finish off this whole entire army here, and down it goes, and now Abver down to a 600 mineral army. He is training up 7 Ultralisks, but those Ultralisks are not going to have, not going to be able to deal any serious damage against those Void Rays. So Void Rays and Colossus constantly on the move. Those Void Rays going to be even stronger in the next patch, dealing additional damage towards massive units. And if this game was in part patch 1.2, the game would be completely different, even further for Mouse Hasu, as Hasu would simply be able to attack, move even more easily with this army. You can see the sheer number of Void Rays in the air. The Void Rays could easily take down this hatchery in just a matter of seconds. The Void Rays have level 2 weapons upgrade, so dealing 12 damage per attack even before becoming fully charged. So yeah, just dealing so much damage that easily, finishing off many of these units here as those Void Rays just continue to move out. Down go more of those Roach Warren and all the tech buildings, and now more Void Rays. So production wise, just sheer mass production coming in from the Protoss army as he's running off of 4 bases. Back over here, Ultralisks now are simply going to be trying to just elevator dropped into this location over here, and if they're elevator drop, perhaps they will be able to deal some damage. Zerg now dropping out of the sky as those Overlords are going to be dropped into this location here, as what Colossus and Stalkers and Void Rays continue to finish off. He's trying to do a base race, but that Void Ray army is just way too powerful with that fast movement speed and that crazy damage at this stage in the game. I believe it's about 18 to 20 damage on those Void Rays, and they attack very quickly. In comes some Dark Templar, and those Dark Templar will be able to have their way with those Ultralisks, as those Ultralisks cannot spot them. No Overseer in play, and now down go the rest of those Ultralisks there as those Dark Templars finish this off, and now Abver says GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay and Game 3 in this best of 5 series between Mouse Hasu and Roxas Abver here on Shakuras Plateau.